Welcome to another episode of Gaming with the Rev, City Skylines. Today, episode 5. And today we're going to start with showing a few things that I did off camera after last time in our farming area. I added a few more flour mills, and then I added some warehouses here for animal products, and some of them for our flour made by our flour mills. So the plan for today's episode is to continue working on our farm here and try to get it to level 5. We're going to build ourselves a zoo, and we're going to zone our first high density residential area, and that'll include some office space and some high density commercial as well. First, we're going to start here with our farm, and we're going to look at putting in the slaughterhouse. As we can see here, this processes crops and turns them into animal products, which we can use in other factories down the road. And now we're going to come in here and take advantage of one of the recent updates to the game and add our 2-unit 4-lane road through our industry area here, just to help with the traffic from all the trucks. Going into our info views area here, taking a look at our trash processing status. We're getting to the point where we'll need to add some more, so we're going to go ahead and take care of that before it becomes a problem. And we're going to go down over here to where we have our dump and our other trash incinerator, and we're going to add another one of those trash incinerators. And then we're going to go ahead and take a look at this dump here, and we're going to start emptying that so we can get rid of that and then fix the pollution in this area so it's not so ground polluted. And now we're going to go ahead and go into our economy tab, and we're going to go to the loans and pay back the loan that we took in the last episode to help get our subway in place. And now I'm going to expand our Lake Vanilla here, but this time I'm going to go ahead and remove some of the trees first before we get rid of the land so we don't have a bunch of submerged trees. And while I'm removing these trees, I'm going to go ahead and remove the trees that are underwater that I forgot to remove last time. And now we're going to go back over to our dirt, and we're going to have to sell some of the soil so we can dig out the lake a little bit more. And now we're going to go ahead and come in here. And I'm going to go to the level terrain, and I'm going to pick a spot. And that way everything that we dig out now will be equal to that spot that I selected. So now I'm just going to go ahead and remove some of this dirt and make the lake bigger. And now I'm going to go ahead and go into the district tool, and we're going to highlight the majority of this lake area that we've created. And then we're also going to add in some of our land and make our Lake Vanilla district. And now that we got our district area renamed Lake Vanilla, we're going to go ahead and we're going to come back in and expand it a little bit and take it to the up against the collector for our industrial road collector. And we're going to get that in there. And then we're going to come out and remove some of these industrial roads here, because they're kind of in the area we're going to be using for our new subdivision area we're making. Before we go too much farther, I think we need to come over here and dig out a little bit more ground to bring that water back up to our piers that we put in our park. So we'll just go ahead and take care of that. And then we'll just let that fill in. There we go. And every time we mess with removing dirt, it seems like we're flooding the area. We'll kind of fix that with bringing some dirt in.
My name is Troy, and you're listening to Downtown Radio on 109.7 FM.
And I may have put a little too much in there, so we'll just take some out and let that fill back in there. And one thing we can do is we're going to come over to our key walls, and we're going to put in a key wall here just to help hopefully prevent some of the flooding here in this area here in the future. And now we're a big city, but we're going to go ahead and skip that for now, and we're trying to get this key wall in here just right. As we can see in the background there, we have some dead bodies piling up. One of the things that we did unlock with our big city is our crematoriums. So we're going to go ahead and go around and place a few of those to help take care of our deaths that we have. Instead of having to depend on the cemeteries, we'll just place some of these around the town. They take up less space and can have a lot more capacity in the long run. So on this crematorium, I placed it here at the Garnet Forest, which isn't really a great spot for it, so we're going to go ahead and move it to our Madison Square area, which is a much better spot for it. And now we're going to go ahead and come in here and start laying out a little road network for what will be our first high density area of our city. And we're going ahead and connecting the road here to our industrial roads, just so that we have more than one way in and out of the area. And then we're going to break up these blocks a little bit, as they are a little bit long. And as you noticed, I am not leaving this additional space. This is high density, so we're going to cram it in there. And now we're going to fix our district area so it covers everything that we just put in. Alright, so we're going to lay out our zoo area here. And as you can see, the Sunnyside Farm is repurposing some of their land for a zoo. They decided that they needed to bring a zoo here for the residents of the city, so they're repurposing some of their farmland and buying additional land for the zoo to be placed on. And I got a little carried away here, so we're going to clean up the zone lines here, so that way all the farm is under the farm, and then we have a clear separation for our zoo. And then we're also going to go into our Lake Vanilla area, and we're going to set that building style to the Brooklyns and Queens DLC that just came out. So that way we have our high density, but they're not a bunch of skyscrapers. It's just a lot of mid-sized buildings. And we'll go ahead and get some of that zoned in here now. And we'll go ahead and get some of the commercial in here. And before we go too far, we're going to go ahead and get some water pipes in here to cover the areas that aren't covered. And we're going to put them under the roads where they belong.
This is Downtown Radio, and I'm Troy. I once read that the definition of luck is when opportunity meets preparation. That's so true. I mean, throughout our lives, we work hard to become better versions of ourselves, and sometimes, when we least expect it, a door opens and we get a chance. When it does, don't hesitate. Opportunity doesn't come twice. Time for the next song.
And while we're building our new zone area, we're going to go ahead and put in a high density elementary school and a high density high school. Or capacity, I'm sorry. And while we're over here, we'll go ahead and add some services that have been lacking, like fire protection. And that large high capacity fire station will cover pretty much this entire farm area and Madison Square along with Lake Vanilla. And as we can see off to the side here, the Garnet Forest is on fire once again. And now we're going to add some office space here. Office space works great as a barrier between uses to cut out the sound so the residential areas stay happy. And now we're going to go ahead and place our main gate for our zoo. We're going to stick it right up here on the corner. And then we're going to go into our park areas and we're going to add a few of the new parking lot assets to give some additional parking for the zoo. Now we'll start laying out our main paths here for the zoo. And as we can see, I kind of overshot our mapped out zone areas, so oops, I didn't mean to accidentally delete the town, our old town park area. I want to go in though and take out the path so it doesn't go past our zoo boundary. And now we're going to go ahead and add some fences just to kind of block it off from the farm area. And we'll kind of try to keep it as best as parallel to the farmland there the best we can. And now we'll come out a little way and add another path. And we'll start putting in some of our different amenities here for the zoo. We'll start with our zoo plaza and we'll put that right there near the entrance. And then we'll go with our cafe, a souvenir shop, and then some restrooms. And then we're going to need to snake some water pipes in here to make sure everything's happy. And we'll bring that right through the main entrance and keep it under our path. Or as best as we can under the path. And now we'll be adding some of the different features. And with the zoo features, some of them already have paths around them, like this one here does. And so what we're going to do is then go ahead and put that there. And then we have our next exhibit, and we can put that right up against the other exhibit because of the fact that it has the paths already going around it. And we'll set that back a little bit so we can take a path along the side of it as well. So now we have our first three exhibits placed, and all we have to do is connect one path from our path to the first exhibit we lay down. And now all three are connected to the path network. And we'll go ahead and stretch this out so when we unlock our next level, we can continue building off of that. And I was going to try to sneak one in back here, but I don't really want to have to redo the fences, so we'll just call that good enough. And then of course we'll need to come back and get some water pipes so the exhibits are happy. There we go. Our new district area is filled in pretty quickly. And we got, oh, we have our first disaster. We have a tsunami warning, or we're past a warning. The tsunami's hit and is flooding our area here. So we're going to have to evacuate our people to the shelters that we put in. Coming down here to the Victoria Square area. There's one of our shelters there, and we have the option here to evacuate the citizens to this shelter. So we're going to go ahead and turn that on. But that only turns on just that shelter there. So instead of doing all the shelters one by one, we can go to the disaster areas here under the evacuation, and we can go ahead and evacuate everybody all at once to all the shelters that are placed. And since this is going to take time for the water to recede, we're going to go ahead and speed things up here to get this going so we can get through all our disaster area here.
Commercial that make you think your phone is ringing.
We'll go ahead and slow things down here just a second to take a look at our flooding in the area. And when it rains, it pours. Now we got a tornado getting ready to hit our city. So we're going to have two massive disasters all in one.
A tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid roads and waterfronts until the water recedes.
FM, playing the songs that will get you through the day.
I switched to the cinematic view here because it lets me zoom out farther than it normally would. I'm trying to find where this tornado is coming from. As we switch back to the cinematic view again, oh, now we can see it forming from the sky there.
A tornado has
And it's crashing down right in between our industrial areas and our original farm area. And it looks like it's heading straight to the heart of Korea. Alright, we're once again going to speed things up to just get through this disaster as fast as we can. And then start rebuilding after all the water recedes and the tornado dissipates. Well, as you can see, our city is hemorrhaging money due to the fact that everybody's stuck in storm shelters and not out working. But we need to get some disaster relief buildings in here while we can. That way, once the storm is finished, we can send out our disaster response units and they can help rebuild the devastated buildings. So we're going to go ahead and get those in here. And then we're going to need to run electricity and water pipes over here real quick as well.
A tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid roads and waterfronts until the water recedes.
And again, we are losing money fast. And now, I'm going to go take a look at all the devastation we have over here. We still have some areas that are flooded. And we've just gone bankrupt. And I didn't read this here when I selected it, but I went ahead and took out the bailout just to keep some cash flow going. And now we're just going to go ahead and speed things up again just till all the water recedes from the area, and then we'll start our disaster recovery.
Very same clothes. And the very same shoes.
So all these little icons that are flashing with the little emblem is due to our disaster recovery unit. These are ones that they've gone and inspected and already cleared, and will rebuild. They will rebuild once we get through here and repair the roads. So that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm just going through and repairing the roads. And then we have some of the buildings that have the red around the red border instead of the white border. The red borders are the parks or different buildings that not zonable buildings, but this is buildings that we placed for city services and what have you. And with those, we will be able to repair those ourselves. But we'll get rid of our coal power plants and we'll replace it with a much more effective solar updraft facility. And a lot of the buildings have rebuilt themselves over there, and the heart of Korea is slowly rebuilding itself as well. We'll go back and repair some more roads here. We have a lot of traffic backing up here on the highway, so what we're going to do is kind of freshen up our city entrance area here. And from the highway to this first intersection, we're going to go ahead and replace it with a 6-lane road. Now, part of this backup is due to the highway being flooded, but when that water moves out, that will help some of it, but we still need to kind of fix this entry area because it is a very busy area. But we're going to go ahead and repair some more roads here real quick. That will allow the police and the garbage to get to the buildings that are complaining. However, the police coverage is not the greatest up there, so we'll go ahead and add another police station. So like I said, most of the buildings that where we replaced the roads have fixed themselves. Now this red border building is one of the buildings that we placed in, so we'll go ahead and repair that. And then we'll get these roads repaired so that the other buildings can rebuild themselves in this area. Again, that will also let the police come through where they need to come in. Our shelter's complaining here, and it's complaining because it doesn't have enough food, but we just placed this one in the middle of the disaster, so it hadn't had time to fill in yet. So it will take care of itself as the roads have been repaired and it has time now. So we do have some industrial areas complaining of not enough raw material. And this is one of the things that will work themselves out, especially now that we have the roads in this area repaired. And now we're Grand City. It gives us a few more mass transit options, a baseball park for our college.
The wait is over. It's finally here. Friday night chili bowling at Andy's Bowling Alley. Every Friday night, anyone who buys at least 2 games of bowling gets a free bowl of chili. So don't wait. Book a lane now. Due to recent incidents, the chili will only be distributed at the end of your visit. That way you can enjoy it wherever you want. In a park, at home.
We have a lot of traffic in this area, so what we're going to do is we're going to create ourselves a little one-way
So come on back and be reminded
in,
that you're not
and we're going to take it down and around,
Andy's Bowling Alley.
giving us not as much traffic backed up there at the main entry point to our city. So this way we don't have traffic crossing over itself, trying to get out of our industrial area and back up. And now we're just going to go around and make sure our one way is going the correct way around our loop. And as we can see, that greatly reduces the number of vehicles trying to cross over here off our boulevard back into our industrial area, as now they're just getting out to leave town like they wanted to do. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and remove this roundabout off of the default starting little highway area here. And what we're going to do is create a bigger roundabout. And we're going to do this for a couple reasons. One, this intersection that was on the map is only giving us 3 directions. It's giving us the north, south, and east. So we're going to go ahead and build another roundabout to give us an option to go west as well to the other side of our map. But we still need an area for the industrial to get in and out where that doesn't bog down our main city entrance. So we're going to go ahead and take care of that as well by tying it into this roundabout that we're making. Things aren't quite lining up just right with the roundabout, and that's because we can see up here it wasn't quite truly square. So what we're going to do is delete it and we're going to start over. And what's happening that's causing the problem is our railroad there is adding additional snap tubes, which is not letting us get a true size of the roads that we're trying to get. So I'm going to kind of try to avoid that by going to this other area here. And there we go. Now we have our true 10 unit. And as we can see, there's no disruption in the zoning, giving us our true cross that we want to make to build our roundabout off of. And we'll switch to the curve tool, and now everything should line up. Yep, there's our 90. So now we can get our true curve, and we'll just carry that around so we have our roundabout. It took some doing, but we finally got it. So now we'll tie in our ramps there, and then we'll also add in our industrial road that we added as well. And now that we have that road connected up, we already have industrial traffic leaving out the back way instead of tying up our traffic in our town. And while we're here, we'll go ahead and zone that so we don't have any one by one buildings behind our sewage treatment plants. And our backlog on the highway is gone. Part of that because of the fact that the water is finally receded from the highway back there. And now I'm just kind of coming around, and we're going to trim out some roads here so we don't create more bottlenecks. And eventually that road may have to go, but we'll go ahead and leave it for right now. And we'll turn on our stoplight here just to help the flow of traffic in this area. Here's another one of the buildings that we have to repair because it's a city service building. So we'll go ahead and repair our subway here. And this building is not rebuilding itself back there, but we'll go ahead and leave it and give it a chance to rebuild. So our zoo isn't growing very fast. We still need some more visitors, and it looks like we only had a total of 8 visitors last week. So we're going to have to come up with a way to get more people over here. So it's time to probably bring a subway line over here. But first, this garbage dump is empty, so we're going to go ahead and demolish that and get that out of there. And we'll go ahead and upgrade the roads around here, and we're going to go ahead and put in the 4-unit or the 2-unit 4-lane industrial road here.
This is Downtown Radio with me, Troy Anderson, your host on the air.
So we're going to go ahead and delete our original subway tunnel in there. And now we're going to go and have to fix our subway track so it ties in correctly. So we're going to back the ones that we had in there originally off. And we're going to tie them into one of the tracks that are in one of the options there, since we have parallel lines that we can have running in. We're actually going to put them on the back side. And that way we have multiple tracks that we can have running through there that it'll be a switching station for the lines once we get it all put back together. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to get the lines fixed. Unfortunately, it's not fixing them. It's just creating 2 different stops on the same line where it reverses back. So what we're going to do is delete the lines, and we'll just redraw the lines in for both our clockwise and counterclockwise routes. So we'll go ahead and remove those and start tracing around and putting our new lines in. But as I'm sitting here thinking, we probably want to go ahead and upgrade our default subway here to another 2-line parallel line station. So we'll hold off on putting in our new lines and fix the tunnels so they line up correctly on there. We'll back this one up away so we can try to make a smooth transition. And this way we have room for future expansion for right in front of our college campus as well. Alright, and now that we have our tunnels connected back up, we'll go ahead and delete the line that we started here. Get zoomed in so I can actually get on it. There we go. And now we'll run our new lines, both clockwise and counterclockwise, around our subway network. And now that we got those routes repaired and back and running, we'll bring our subway tunnel over here and we'll connect this to the other line over there in the Garnet Forestry area. And what this will do is that way we now have a transfer location for people to hop a train on the other side of the town or the other side of the city. They can come over to this station, transfer to the other line, and go to the zoo. And now that that line is complete, we'll go and set our route. And this one will just be a to and from route from our Garnet Forestry Station to our zoo station. And this should help us get more visitors to our zoo. And while we were working on our subway, our zoo did level up. So we're now our 2-star. And so we'll go ahead and place in our new unlocked exhibits with our bison enclosure. And this is another one that has paths already built into the exhibit, so we're going to kind of set it back up here to the side to tie into. And we'll spin this one, and that looks like it'll attach right there. Except that's going to an elevated path, so we'll move that here in just a moment once we get some paths put in place. Oh, or what we'll do is we'll just move it to the main path. There we go. And now we'll take our paths and we'll connect it to the bison exhibit. And we'll go ahead and run this into our main path just so we have more connectivity. And now we do need to run some water pipes in there as well. We are well above our entertainment value that we need, so now it's just wait for the visitors to come. And it looks like a lot of these buildings want more educated citizens before the upgrade, so that'll be something we need to get going. And it looks like we got stoplights on, so we're going to go turn that off and just put a stop sign here. That way our boulevard has the right of way.
This is Downtown Radio, and I'm Troy. I once read that the definition of luck is when opportunity meets preparation. That's so true.
And while we're over here, our processing for our garbage is getting low, so we'll go ahead and make sure we have coverage for that for a while. And I like these new incineration plants because they don't pollute like the base game ones do, so that is awfully nice. I'm taking a look here at this condensation tower because that's one of the new things from the content creator packs that I've never used before. So I was just checking out to see what it does exactly. And we need some more water, so we'll go ahead and put in one of our newer, bigger water towers. And while we're at it, might as well add in our new, bigger water treatment plant, but I don't have anywhere that I can quite fit it in there, and I don't want to put it on directly on that 4-lane road. So what we'll end up doing is just building a new road right out here to have water treatment taken care of in this for the area. And now we'll just need to draw our water pipes to tie it into the network. And while we're here, we may go ahead and put another one in, but we'll have to expand our road a little bit. Get that connected into that. And now that we have plenty of sewage coverage, we're going to go ahead and remove some of these older, smaller water treatment plants. And now that that sewer treatment plant is gone, we can go ahead and add in a little bit more industrial area. To help meet some of that industrial demand. And this looks like it would be a good time to go ahead and take a look around town to see what we did today and check out the recovery after our disasters as well. Once again, I'd like to thank everyone for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and feel free to share with anyone that loves City Skylines. Again, this has been the Rev saying thank you and have a great day.